let's have a look at these together. I know a lot of you maybe didn't quite get there, which is fine. You'll learn something as we have a go. Okay. Now I've asked for just answers only. One of the reasons why is before we get to analyzing this process, you can have a look, and you all should. If you got this answer, you should look at this and you should say, does that make sense? Is it reasonable? Okay. Whether it's right or not is another question. Okay. What I would suggest you do, and I want all of you to actually do this along with me, is just draw a small set of axes. Doesn't have to be big or beautiful. Draw a small set of axes beside where you put this working. I'm going to say, you don't even necessarily need to have a ruler for this because you're just looking for a ballpark check. Is this like a reasonable answer? And you don't need a ruler to confirm that. So I've got the Cartesian plane over there. -1, -3. -1, which way do I go if it says -1 first? It's to the left because the first number is horizontal. So here I am, 1 unit to the left. I see there's a 3, so that takes me upwards, right? Second number's vertical, so we'll go 1, 2, 3. That's where P is currently, okay? So I'm going to put that in. In the same way, I'm going to go at this guy and look at where he is. So 1, 2, 3. I actually didn't quite draw it big enough. That's all right. And then down to -5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here I am. Apparently that's Q. Okay. Now this doesn't need to be precise. You can see I've gone off my axes. This is just so I can check because it's going to be about right. I'm going to join PQ. Right. That's an interval, by the way. An interval has a start and an end. A line goes on forever. So there's my interval. Now when I have a look at what I think is the answer, 1.5. Have a look. Where's that? There's 1 and 2, right? So 1.5 should be halfway between those. So it looks like something around here. Does that match up with the answer that you got? Yeah. Looks pretty good, right? And even though it's not like bang on, well, I did it pretty roughly. So all I'm doing is making sure, yeah, reasonable answer. So good work if you got 1.5, comma, -1. Okay, now Danielle put this answer up, but I know a few of you got it, so I'm curious. We could go ahead and do the same thing we did before, but how did you get 2, 0 if you did? Someone else want to suggest how they went about it? Delage, nice and loud.
I did the midpoint equation and substituted point A, and then you actually work out B.
Okay, Y10. I'll ask you to put your pens down and look up for a minute. Just because Delage gave an excellent answer, but only about half of us heard it. So I'm going to repeat it. Tell me if I got it right. Okay. The first thing Delage did was he went straight to the midpoint formula. Help me remember it. I'm going to put big brackets. What comes first? x1 plus x2. You're taking the average of these two numbers. You add and divide. What's the next bit? Okay, so you're doing the same thing, once for the x's, once for the y's. Okay. Now you have a look here. I'm interested because Delage suggested that we're going to put things into this distance formula. But hold on, sorry, it's midpoint formula. Hold on a second. Look at the information that we've got. Here's A. So this is x1, y1. But what's x2, y2? Like, is this x2, y2? I'm seeing people shaking heads, but why? I mean, it's the other set of coordinates. Why don't I use that as x2, y2? Anyone want to suggest to me why? Ellen, what do you think?
Because that's what the midpoint is.
So this is what you're going to get at the end, right? In fact, the way I would write it is like this. I know what the midpoint is. Unlike in question 1 where I'm trying to find it, the midpoint is provided to me, right? Yeah, I got it right. Okay. So now what I can do is I can substitute in x1 and y1. The reason there's no x2 or y2 in the question is because x2 and y2 are the answer. Does that make sense? That's what you're going towards. So I'm just going to put one line of working here. You can compare it to yours. It's going to be something like this. Let's have a look. 0 plus that, and 4 plus that. So what you've actually produced for yourself is a pair of equations. Have a look at them with me. See this part here? This 1 It's the x-coordinate. So what does it correspond to on the right-hand side? What's 1 equal to?
0 plus x.
It's 0 plus x2 over 2. These bits, they match, right? So there's one equation. Here's another one. The 2, what's that equal to? It's equal to 4 plus y2 over 2. Like that. Okay? So that's why you can see, for example, if I wrote that down, 2 equals 4 plus y2 over 2. Do you see what's going to happen, right? I want to solve. What will I do? What can I do to both sides? I think I'm going to get rid of this guy by multiplying by 2. That gives me this. Now what? I can subtract 4 from both sides. That gives me that and that, which is exactly what Daniel's written for us. Okay, you can confirm you get this for the other side. Okay, so good job if you got that.